Good morning everyone. Today we will start with a new topic of the chapter plant tissues. The name of the topic is the tissue system. A tissue system usually consists of only one tissue or an association of tissues which performs the same function. On the basis of topography, the following three types of tissue systems have been recognized within the plant body. These includes epidermal tissue system or dermal tissue system. Then is ground tissue system or fundamental tissue system. And the last one is vascular or conducting tissue system. In this video, we will discuss all these three types of tissue systems in detail one by one. Let us start with epidermal tissue system. The epidermal tissue system forms the outer protective covering of the plant. In the primary plant body, it is represented by epidermis and associated structures such as trichomes, stomata, etc. During secondary growth, epidermis may be replaced by periderm. This new protective covering develops from cork cells and is also known as phloem. The epidermal tissue system being exposed to the outer environment is subjected to the risk of mechanical injury, excessive illumination and violent fluctuation of temperature, etc. So in total, epidermal tissue system consists of epidermis, stomata and epidermal outgrowth. Epidermis is generally composed of a single layer of parenchymatous cells compactly arranged without intercellular spaces, but it is interrupted by stomata. In leaves, some specialized cells which surrounds the stomata are called the guard cells. Chloroplasts are present only in the guard cells of the epidermis and they are absent in other epidermal cells. Now, if we talk about the structure of epidermis, the cells are elongated, compactly arranged and are present without intercellular spaces. The cells are parenchymatous in nature and have a colorless cell sap. They have less cytoplasm and a large vacuole. Epidermis is one cell thick and is covered with cuticle. Cuticle is waterproof layer of waxy substance called cutin that is secreted by epidermal cells. The main function of cuticle is to protect the plant from desiccation and infections. They have minute openings called stomata in the leaves and green shoots. They may bear unicellular or multicellular hair or glands. Now if we talk about the functions of epidermal tissues, this tissues being the outermost layer, it protects the internal tissues against mechanical injuries, fluctuation of temperatures and attack of pathogens. It checks water loss from the internal soft organs. Chloroplast present in the epidermal cells helps in the manufacturing of food by the process of photosynthesis. Epidermal cells also plays an important role in opening and closing of stomata for exchange of gases and for the process of transpiration. Trichomes are also helpful in the dispersal of seeds and fruits. The next structure is stomata. These are the minute apertures in the epidermis of leaves and other aerial parts of plant. The aperture is bounded by two specialized kidney-shaped cells called guard cells. Thus, a stomata consists of an aperture bounded by two guard cells. The guard cells have unevenly thickened walls. The inner wall, which faces the aperture, is highly thickened while the wall away from the aperture is thin and extensible. The guard cells contain chloroplasts and thus perform the function of photosynthesis. The guard cells are surrounded by a variable number of epidermal cells, which are called subsidiary or accessory cells. These cells may be morphologically similar to the other epidermal cells or differ from them. The two guard cells of a stomata, its aperture and the adjoining subsidiary cells together constitutes a stomatal apparatus. Although stomata occurs in all aerial parts of the plant, they are abundant in leaves. Normally, stomata occur on both the surfaces of leaves and such leaves are called as amphistomatic. Sometimes Stomata are confined only to the lower surface of the leaf, and then the leaves are known as hypostomatic. In floating leaves of aquatic plants, stomata are confined only to the upper surface, and such leaves are called as epistomatic leaves. Now, if we talk about the functions of stomata, they are avenues for gaseous exchange, and hence they play important role in respiration and photosynthesis. Most of the water absorbed by the plant is transpired through stomata. The process of transpiration protects the plant from high temperature of the environment. The next structure of epidermal tissue includes epidermal hairs. They are also called as trichomes. Epidermal hair is a specialized structure in epidermal tissue of the plants. The root hairs are unicellular elongations of epidermal cells. They absorb water and minerals from the soil. The epidermal hairs on the stems are called trichomes. The trichomes are usually multicellular. They can be branched or unbranched. The trichomes prevent water loss through transpiration. Some of the trichomes may be secretory in function. Last part of epidermal tissue system includes cork. As roots and stem grow older and increase in girth, tissues at the periphery become cork cells. They are dead and don't have intercellular spaces. The wall of the cork cells are heavily thickened by the deposition of suberin and lignin. Cork cells prevents desiccation, infection and mechanical injury. Cork is brownish in color. Now, if we talk about its function, as it is a dead tissue, so it acts as a protective tissue. Suberin, being waterproof, prevents the loss of water. Cork insulates the trees from freezing temperature in cold winter and helps in conservation of water. Cork is light, highly compressible and does not catch fire easily. The next is ground tissue system or fundamental tissue system. It forms the main bulk of the plant body and it extends from below the epidermis to the center of the axis. In roots and dicotyledonous stems, the ground tissue present outside the vascular cylinder is known as extrastellar ground tissue, and that present inner to the vascular cylinder is known as intrastellar ground tissue. The latter includes pericycle, medullary rays, and pith. However, in monocotyledonous stem, where vascular bundles are scattered, there is no such distinction in the ground tissue system. The fundamental tissue system can be distinguished into following regions: cortex, pericycle, pith, and medullary rays. Cortex. The ground tissue in the extracellular region is known as cortex. In dicotyledonous stem, cortex is usually differentiated into three regions that includes hypodermis, general cortex, and endodermis. Hypodermis forms the outer region of cortex that lies just below the epidermis. It consists of 3 to 5 layers of collenchymatous or sclerenchymatous cells. Then is general cortex, which is present between hypodermis and endodermis. It is a multi-layered zone composed of parenchymatous cells with prominent intercellular spaces. Then is endodermis. It is the inner limiting layer of cortex. It is a single layer of compactly arranged vertically elongated cells which appears barrel-shaped in cross-section. In roots, endodermis is well-defined layer with characteristic wall thickening in the form of Casparian band. Then is pericycle. It follows the endodermis and constitutes the outer boundary of primary vascular bundle. In roots, it is usually forms a complete ring of cells whose continuity is sometimes interrupted. Then is pith. It is the intrastellar region of ground tissue and forms the central core of the stem and root. It is made up of parenchymatous cells which are arranged loosely and have prominent intercellular spaces. Then is medullary rays. These are narrow, vertically elongated bands of parenchymatous cells which extends transversely from pith towards the periphery. In a transverse section, they appear like radiating spokes of the wheel. Next is vascular tissue system. Vascular tissue system includes vascular bundles that forms the part of transport system in vascular plants. The two elements of vascular tissue are xylem and phloem. These are arranged in groups called vascular bundles. Xylem is responsible for unidirectional flow of water, whereas phloem is responsible for the bidirectional flow of food. This vascular bundle comprises the main transport system of the plant. Now, let's discuss various types of vascular bundles. There are mainly three types of vascular bundles on the basis of position of xylem and phloem. That includes radial, conjoint, and concentric. Radial vascular bundle. In these types of vascular bundles, xylem and phloem, they are present on alternate radial positions. Xylem is present on different radii and phloem is present on different radii. Both are alternating to each other, and this type of arrangement is seen in roots. Next is conjoint vascular bundles. When the xylem and phloem tissues, they are present on the same radii and just opposed to each other, then it is known as conjoint vascular bundles. In this type of vascular bundles, xylem is usually present towards the center and phloem is found outside the xylem cells. It is common in dicot stems. Few meristematic cells called cambial cells are also found in between xylem and phloem. Whenever cambial cells are found in between the vascular bundles, they are called as open type, and when the cambial cells are not found, the vascular bundle are known as closed type. Depending on the number and position of phloem group, conjoint vascular bundles are of two types, collateral type and bicollateral type. Collateral vascular bundle, in this condition, xylem is present towards the center and phloem is present towards the outward. Bicollateral vascular bundle contains two patches of phloem on either side of the xylem on same radii. The outer phloem or external phloem remains towards the periphery of the central cylinder and inner or internal phloem remains towards the center. However, there are two patches of cambium found in these vascular bundles. The last type is concentric vascular bundles. In this, xylem and phloem are present in concentric bundles. These are further of two types, amphivessel vascular bundles and amphicribal vascular bundles. When xylem surrounds the phloem tissue from all sides, the vascular bundle is called as amphivessel vascular bundle or leptocentric type. Such bundles are seen in monocot plants like Dracaena after secondary growth. Amphicribal vascular bundles. When phloem surrounds the xylem tissue entirely, the vascular bundle is called amphicribal vascular bundle or heterocentric type. Such vascular bundles are seen in pteridophytes like Lycopodium and Sleginin. On the basis of the position of protoxylem in vascular bundles, the primary xylem can be further differentiated into two types, exarch xylem and endarch xylem. If the protoxylem is towards the outer side of the organ, then the condition is called exarch, and if the protoxylem is towards the center of the organ, then it is endarch. Exarch condition of the xylem is found in roots, whereas endarch condition of the xylem is found in stem. I hope you all have understood the topic, the tissue system. Thank you everyone.